Good morning, dear students. Today's topic is on transform analysis of linear time invariant system. This transform analysis is nothing but finding out the transfer function. Transfer function is nothing but output by input. So this is the concept of transform analysis or transfer function. We have an equation which is related to linear time invariant system, that is y of n is equal to h of n into x of n. H of n is an impulse input, x of n is an input, and y of n is an output. Taking a z transform on both sides, if you take a z transform on both the sides, this small y of n will become capital Y of z, and small h of n will become capital H of z, and x of n will become h of z, and this convolution will be eliminated by a dot. This convolution signal is eliminated by a dot, and that is y of z is equal to h of z dot x of z. So what I said about the transfer function is nothing but output by input. So output is h of z, output is y of z, and input is x of z. So to find impulse function which is related to the transform analysis, h of z is equal to y of z divided by x of z. So next we look at the problem, that is a causal system has input x of n and output y of n. Find the impulse response of the system. So we need to find h of n, and in terms of transfer analysis, that is h of z. Now we need to find h of z, and we have an equation called x of n is equal to delta of n plus 1 by 4 delta of n minus 1 minus 1 by 8 delta of n minus 2, and y of n is equal to delta of n minus 3 by 4 delta of n minus 1, and we have a basic equation, that is delta of n is equal to 1. So and delta of n minus 1 can be written as z inverse. These are the basic equations. In place of n minus 1, we just put z inverse. In place of delta of n, you write 1. If it is delta of n minus 2, then this will become z to the power of minus 2. Now you change the impulse response to a normal response, that is, so in place of x of n, write x of z by converting into a z transform. Taking z transform on both the sides, you take a z transform on both sides, then you will get x of n will become x of z, delta of n will be 1 plus 1 by 4 delta of n minus 1 is z inverse, that is 1 by 4 z inverse minus 1 by 8 z to the power of minus 2, and y of z is equal to 1 minus 3 by 4 delta of n minus 1 can be replaced by z to the power of minus 1. These are the two equations. By using these two equations, we are going to calculate the causal system response. We have an equation, that is h of z is equal to y of z divided by x of z. This is the equation I have taken. So what is y of z? Y of z is 1 minus 3 by 4 z inverse, and x of z is 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse minus 1 by 8 z to the power of minus 2. Now you factorize the denominator. When you factorize, you will get two values, that is minus 1 by 4 and 1 by 2. When you multiply, when you add, we have to get 1 by 4, and when you multiply, we should get 1 by 8. So minus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2, you will get 1 by 4. If you multiply minus 1 by 4 and 1 by 2, you will get 1 by 8. So by using a partial fraction method, find k1 and k2 value. This method, this partial fraction, you already studied. By using the partial fraction expansion method, you calculate the value of k1 and k2. So here is the value of k1. I have solved this. You refer this part and you calculate k1 and k2. The k1 value is 2 by 3 minus 2 by 3, and k2 value is 5 by 3. And we just substitute the k1 value and k2 value. K1 is minus 2 by 3, 1 minus divided by 1 minus 1 by 4 z inverse, plus k2 is 5 by 3 divided by 1 plus 1 by 2 z inverse. This is your h of z into h of z is equal to y of z divided by x of z. Now you inverse the values, taking inverse z transform. If you take inverse z transform, this will become, this is in the form of 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. If it is 1 divided by 1 minus alpha, it's a right sided sequence. If it is a right sided sequence, we have an equation that is alpha to the power of n into u of n. That is 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. In terms of infinite sum formula, it is alpha to the power of n into u of n. So in this form, it is 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. This whole term is an alpha. This whole term is alpha. So alpha is 1 by 4 whole to the power of n into u of n, minus 2 by 3 as it is, you write it, and 1 by 4 whole to the power of n into u of n, plus 5 by 3 minus 1 by 2 whole to the power of n into u of n. This is how we need to find the transform analysis of any given equation or transfer function of any given equation. So next topic is on relation between transfer function and the difference equations. So we need to find, so what is the relation between the transfer function and the difference equations? Difference equations nothing but x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3, like this we're going to get in a difference equation. That equation we are going to compare with the transfer function. Look at this problem. Find the transfer function of and impulse response of the system described by the difference equation. This is the equation what they given, that is y of n minus 1 by 2 y of n minus 1 is equal to 2 into x of n minus 1. This is the given equation. So what I have written it here, taking z transform on both the sides. If you take a z transform on both the sides, this small y of n will become capital Y of z, and minus 1 by 2 z inverse y of z is equal to 2 into z inverse x of z. So if it is x of n minus 1, we write z power of minus 1. If it is x of n minus 2, write z minus 2. If it is x of n minus 3, write z minus 3. That is the only change. Next you take y of z common from this equation. You will get 1 minus y of z into 1 minus 1 by 2 z inverse is equal to 2 into z inverse x of z. Now what is the equation? What is the transform analysis? That is h of z. H of z is equal to y of z divided by x of z. So h of, here is the equation, y of z is 2z inverse divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 z inverse. If you want, you just transfer this and this equation to the denominator. So 2z inverse divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 z inverse. This is the equation which can relate with the difference equation. Now taking inverse z transform of the above equation, then you will get h of n 2 into alpha to the power of n, that is 1 by 2 whole to the power of n, but in this case z to the power of minus 1 is there, so that's why we are writing n minus 1 into u of n minus 1. Once one step it is forwarded, that's why we are writing it as u of n minus 1, or else shift of signal to the right or left. In this case it is the right. This is about the relation between the transfer function and the difference equation. And the next topic is on stability and causality. So you just remember this stability and causality. Already you have studied the stability and causality. If any system is causal, it should depend upon past and present values. And if it is a stable system, it has to satisfy BIBO condition, that is bounded input and bounded output, or for limited input you have to get a limited output. That is your stability and causality property. Here also it is same, but in other version they are defining it. For a system to be stable and causal, all poles should lie inside the unit circles. If it is a unit circle, your poles and zeros should lie. If you consider unit circle, that means the circle which is having a radius of 1, and here it is minus 1, your all poles and zeros should lie within this unit circle. Then only the system, we call it as a stable system or a causal system. And then the values which is present in the numerator will be considered as zeros. These values considered as zeros, and the values which are present in the denominator will be considered as a poles. Now look at this equation. Look at this problem. Determine whether the system described below is causal and stable. So and this is a given equation, that is h of z is equal to 2z plus 1 divided by z square plus z minus 5 by 6. And we have an equation, the same equation we are having. It's a given equation. Now we just take 2 outside and factorize the denominator. If you're going to factorize the denominator, you will get 2 values, that is 5 by 4 and minus 1 by 4. So if you multiply, if you add, you have to get z, and if you multiply, you should get 5 by 16. So, and these are the 2 values. 5 by 4 minus 1 by 4 will get was z, and if you multiply 5 by 4 into 1 by 4, you will get 5 by 16. So these are the poles, that is 5 by 4 and minus 1 by 4 are the poles, and 1 by 2 is a 0. So next, z is equal to minus 5 by 4. Within the, it is with z plus 5 by 4. If it is written in general form, is equal to 0, you will get minus 5 by 4. So that 5 by minus 5 by 4 I have written it here. 5 by 4, the value of 5 by 4 is minus 1.25, and z is equal to 1 by 4. Look at this. This minus 1.25, this is a pole which lies outside the unit circle. Look at this. This is a unit circle. This is a unit circle, and your minus 1.25 lies at this place, minus 1.25. That means your system, one pole is lying outside the unit circle. One pole is lying outside the unit circle, and 1 by 4 which lies inside the circle, that is 1 by 4. 1 by 4. So that means one pole is lying outside the unit circle and the other pole is lying inside the unit circle. So hence this system is not a stable and a causal system. If your system is to be stable and causal, your all the poles should lie within the unit circle. Within this circle only it has to lie. Then only we are going to consider it as a stable and causal system. Thank you.